Hi, Aaron Maker here. I'm bringing you a Spot the Difference game tutorial. I think it's going to be the best online, so I hope you guys enjoy and can follow along. First things first, let's look at the stages we're going to need. Okay, the first one is you picked the wrong ladybug. The second one is you picked the right ladybug. The third one is out of time. And the fourth one is a blank screen. So how do we do this? Let me just make one, and you'll know how to make the other ones. So you can make sure you're clicked on stage here, and you can choose a backdrop. And once you click on there, you can click on paint. Make sure you click on the rectangle, draw a rectangle, and then you can color it any color you want with your paint filler. Click the text tool, find the text that you like. Make sure you change it to a different color. And type in, you picked the right ladybug. Or you can put in any text you want for whatever character you decide to use. Just make sure you have a detailed character. Then you can click on the arrow tool here and stretch the font to fill the screen. And there you go. So once you have one, you can duplicate that and change what it says with the text tool. You picked the wrong ladybug. And you can then use your paint filler to change the colors around as you like. Something like that. And you can do the same thing for the out of time. And then you want just a blank page here. Remember, to duplicate is right click, and then you left click on duplicate. Right click on what you want to duplicate. Okay, so once you have the backdrops you need, you'll need the sprites that you need. So basically you want to choose one, and then you'll be able to duplicate that one. First I'm going to code the real ladybug, and then I'm going to code the second one that is exactly the same for the other four. So we only really need to code the first two. Okay, let's start with the real ladybug, okay? So on the real ladybug, we have this code. I'm zooming in and I'll be copying the code. I should note that first, under the costumes of the real ladybug, you want to change one thing about each costume. Okay, so on this one, basically you can take your paint filler and change one thing about costume number 1, duplicate it, change one thing, duplicate it. I only have like a red thing here, a red difference. Then I have the feelers or the prongs there. So yeah, very slight differences depending on how hard you want your game to be. Okay, now the code, okay, on our real ladybug. When the flag is clicked, I'm going to be copying it down the same way here. Or basically copying what you can see already. You want to go to events for that, then you go to looks, switch costume to, then you can put an operation inside of it. If you want your game to be harder, you can make more costumes for your real ladybug. Okay, then your player will have trouble figuring out which is which. Okay, but I only have 5 costumes, so 1 to 5. It's going to pick random when the game starts. Over here, what else do we need? We need when this sprite is clicked, something has to happen. So repeat 1 time. Change that. We need a play sound. Okay, so when it comes to sounds, you got to click on sounds, go down to the bottom left and choose a sound. then you can search up anything, including the yeah. So you click on it, and it'll add it to your sound list. Then you go back to code, click on sound, and it'll be there. Right there. I already have it, so there we go. When this sprite is clicked, play sound. I'm just copying this. Go to looks, switch backdrop to right. Also, right here, let me show you that I titled, if I click on stages and click on backdrops, I titled each one right here. I titled this one wrong, I titled this one right, titled this one out of time, and blank. Okay, back to code and back to our real ladybug. Switching backdrop to the right one, and then wait 1 second. Change it to 0.5 seconds. I just think that makes the game a little smoother. And a stop all button after that. Get rid of it now, because it's here. Okay, right here, last bit of code. When flag is clicked, go to random position, because once our game is tested or played, we want our characters to start a new place, basically. Our ladybugs. Forever, it's going to be gliding a certain amount of time. Feel free to play with this number if you want your game to be different. I think glide speed 2 seconds is about perfect, but feel free to experiment. Alright, so then we have our real ladybug's code. Now we click on our second one. Let's zoom in here. And remember, this code is the same for the other 4 ladybugs, or whatever sprite you decided to use. Okay. When this sprite is clicked, I'm copying this left side here. Go to Control, repeat 1 time. Play sound. And just like we did before, you go into sounds, can search up a sound, type in bonk if you like that sound. I think it's funny. It's funny. Go back over to code, and it should be there in your sounds. Play sound bonk. Switch backdrop to the wrong one. Hopefully you titled them. It's important to title stuff. Okay. Switch backdrop to the wrong one. Let's move this up so we can see it. Then it's waiting 5 seconds, 0.5 seconds. And stopping all. Under control. Okay. Then you have it. So let's do this last bit of code here. When flag is clicked, is under events, go to is motion, go to random position. Forever is under control, and glide 2 seconds, similar to the others, because they're, feel free to experiment and change the numbers like I said, if you want. I think 2 seconds is perfect. You changed it there. Once you have this ladybug, down below you can right click and duplicate, and you get all the code that you just did, so you can make as many extra ladybugs as you want. I think 4 is perfect, and 5 total is what I'm going for. So the last thing we need to do, in case we didn't do it, oh, we definitely didn't do it. So let's go to stage, and we have to create a variable. So we go to variables. There's a little gray rectangle, make a variable. You can title that time and click OK. Then make sure you have it for all sprites once you click OK. And then it gives you this, so you'll be able to set your variables. So let's do it again. When flag is clicked, set my variable, aka time, to 10. So it's like a countdown game. We go to repeat 10 times because it's counting 10 seconds. Control, we wait 1 second and change the time by -1. So back to our variables, change my variable, aka time, by -1, which is right next to your equal sign and your backspace on your keyboard, hopefully. That's perfect. Okay, that's how you do that part. Then we want to, when the game is started, and remember this code is on our stage, okay? Click on stage for this. Okay, when flag is clicked, doing this part, switch to backdrop blank. So every time the game starts, you got that white screen that your game basically is happening on top of. Last part here, and we are done with all the code. When flag is clicked, forever, if then block, put in an operation. So make sure the alligator, aka greater than less than sign, is facing the right way. Okay, then we want to put in our variable, which is time, and we change that to 1. Okay, so this means, what's it mean? If the time is less than 1, which means 0, if it counts down to 0, switch backdrop to our out of time that we named earlier on. And play sound. Grab another sounds, go to sound, same way we did it before. Choose a sound, type in lose. That's what it sounds like. Okay, perfect. Play sound lose. You get the idea, and stop all. Then you have a complete game. Delete it because I already did it. Showing you guys where I got the blocks. So all we have left to do now is test our game out. We're looking for that one bug with the difference, and boom! Yeah. You picked the right ladybug with 5 seconds to spare. Impressive. Let's try it again. All right, I'm looking for that ladybug difference, and I'm running out of time. No. I have failed you all. Okay, what about the last one? What happens when you pick the wrong ladybug? Oh no, you picked the wrong lady. Our game is working flawlessly. So, hopefully it's working flawlessly for you. You have all the code. You can go back into it and make sure you have all the steps right. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and keep on scratching.